A man spread sand all over the floor beside his bed every day. Then, he sealed the gaps around his door with duct tape until not a single crack was visible. Finally, he chained himself tightly to the bed. All this trouble, just to stop himself from sleepwalking. He thought he had everything covered, but when he opened his eyes again, he found himself in the middle of nowhere. Completely disoriented, he gritted his teeth and popped his dislocated jaw back into place. As he looked around, bewildered, a voice echoed in his head, telling him to go to sleep and give his body back to Mark. Stephen was confused. On instinct, he reached into his pocket and felt something extra. Pulling it out, he saw an object that looked like a golden beetle, and this was the start of his nightmare. Just then, an old man appeared upstairs. Before Stephen could even ask a question, the old man opened fire on him. With no choice, Stephen took off running. He managed to blend into the crowd and narrowly escaped. But then, something really strange happened. The villagers parted like the Red Sea, and a blond man stepped forward. Turns out, he was in the middle of some kind of mysterious ritual. As his staff swayed between his arms, the tattoos on Harrow's body gradually turned green. In the end, Harrow declared that men are models of virtue. But when it was an old woman's turn, the scales on her arms suddenly turned red, marking her as pure evil. After Harrow chanted some incantations, the old woman turned into a dried-up corpse in the blink of an eye. That's when the mercenary who'd been after Stephen showed up. He told Harrow that the golden beetle had been stolen and that the thief was hiding in the crowd. Harrow got to his feet and gave a signal. In an instant, all the villagers dropped to one knee, except Stephen, who just stood there like a deer in headlights. It was obvious, he was the fugitive they were looking for. Harrow walked up to him and demanded the golden beetle. Confused as he was, Stephen obediently reached into his pocket. But just as he was about to hand it over, his hand seemed to have a mind of its own. He tried desperately to let go, but ended up yanking his hand back. Feeling played, Harrow ordered his men to arrest Stephen. That's when Stephen's eyes rolled back, and he passed out. When he came to, everyone around him was on the ground. He had no clue what had happened, but his top priority was getting out of there. So he hotwired a car and took off. But the gang wouldn't let up. Every time he was in danger, he'd black out, only to wake up with the crisis averted. But then, the truck broke down. With the robbers closing in, ready to shoot him dead, a pile of wooden stakes suddenly came rolling down the hill, turning the robbers into a bloody mess. And Stephen wasn't spared either. When he woke up again, he was back in his bed, the chain on his leg still intact. At first, he thought it had all been a dream, but soon realized that every bit of it had been real.